I don't always listen to sports radio, but when I do, I prefer the Sports Goombahs. Stay loyal, my friends.
Hey, yo, B, I don't want that guy's voice doing our show. Put him in the bathroom. Cashy King here. I got my chef to the left, Brendan B. Mikey Wall was on assignment tonight at the WWE in Philadelphia down at the Wells Fargo Center.
Lucky him.
Can you believe the WWE trumps us? Not true. Mikey's down there. Hopefully he'll give us a call. Give me a report. What's going down at that chaos? This is Sports Goombahs, and we're live in the 515 studios. Barry, so we're deep outside Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We got an open phone line. Give us a call, 267-563-2893 is the Sports Goombahs hotline. You can also give us a text there. You tweet us at Sports Goombahs. Also on Facebook, the same, Facebook, Sports Goombahs. Tonight's show is brought to you by Castle Public Adjusters, the number one public adjusters in the Delaware Valley, 215-752-1237, or check them out at castlepa.com. Also by Auto Magic Car Care. I want to give him a front plug tonight. That's for cleaning my car so good this week.
Oh, finally?
No, they didn't get it yet.
Oh, okay.
Auto Magic Car Care, 215-322-2561. Check them out at automagiccarcare.com. Also, BZI Group Insurance. He is your Obamacare guy. If you didn't enroll today, I think, right? Today was the last day, the 15th?
It's yeah, I think it might be today. Yep.
I called last night, man. I was on the phone getting through that chaos. I had a call today to make sure they did the right thing after being on the line all night. So after I hung up, I said to myself, I ain't sure. I'm not sure what I just did. So I spent 3 hours on the phone today trying to make sure I'm sure. And the guy said, yeah, you're cool. Like that. But going from place to place and busy signals and bumping me from different spots. It's ridiculous, man.
If it's anything like the video you shared this afternoon,
then
I can completely imagine. I'm sure you'll get to that too.
Yeah. So that's BZI Group Insurance, 800-431-4834. Check them out at bzigroup.com. All right, B. Yeah. Let's start off with something different, a little MMA. We're going to start off. BZI Group, they were nice enough to invite me to their show, to their office or the owner's house, Brian's house, and a bunch of us went over to watch the MMA UFC Saturday night. Let me tell you something. You go there, you log on, you buy this thing on TV, and you sit there for 4 hours before they show you the actual contest.
Oh, they finally caught up to boxing then, I guess.
Yeah, they caught what it is. Like you got to remember, it's in Las Vegas, okay?
Is that 3 hour difference?
Yeah, I don't know, whatever. Bottom line is we drank and slept for 4 hours until the actual fight started. Fortunately, there were good fights. I watched the one I looked forward to was the Luke Rockhan, not Luke Rockhan, what was it? Chris Weidman fight. I'm sorry, Chris Weidman. He was like he's the one who beat Anderson Silva. Well, he got his head beat in. I mean, beat in bad. And that was the second to the last fight. That's the one that I stayed up for. I left after that. I can't understand. I don't know what the concussion rules are in MMA. I don't believe there's any, because this guy got his head beat in the second round. I'm thinking he came out the third. They let him fight the third round. Cuts deep into his forehead. All right, and he's pounding away on him. And the blood's all over the place, and everybody's loving it. That's it, man. That's what that trumps the WWE. That's what it's all about. The destruction of a human being in the ring. Now, I've been through that. I've been in MMA. I have training in that stuff, but never like this. These guys have to be incredibly tough to take this on. This guy's got 5 or 6 cuts. His face is blown up. Good-looking guy when he started the fight. face is blown up, and he's getting pounded on, and he's still going, you know. And even after the ref calls it, he gets up. He still wants to keep fighting. In his mind, he wants to keep going.
You sure he didn't have like skates on or something? Like he wasn't a hockey player from the 70s, was he? Because that's what it sounds like. It sounds like every hockey player you've ever met in your life.
Yeah. And the other guy that beat him, this guy is Rockhold, I think is now. I don't know what his first name, but he was good. He was not real built guy, not just very serious and good striking. It was great stuff. I mean, really good. And unfortunately, at the beginning of that, Uriah Faber came back, who was a fighter from about 8 to 10 years ago. Was really good, a lightweight. This is the guy who at one time broke both his wrists in the ring.
I don't remember that.
And he found himself a new way to fight. What's called his elbows. Now it's what he uses. This guy has the most brutal elbow I've ever seen. Both of them. He hits with his elbows. He still uses his wrist, but he has that move, destruction. I mean, he won the decision, didn't knock the guy out, but once again, he's back and he's in the UFC now. Before he was fighting in one of these lower end groups. I don't know who he was. It was, one of those TV ones you would see on FX or whatever. But now the UFC has everybody. Dana White's got full control of this thing. The last fight, which I couldn't keep my eyes open for, after the Weidman fight, I kind of said, I'm out of here. I got to go, man. I live 45 miles away. And I got to get on 95. Who knows what's going on 95 in the middle of the night?
You never know.
So, plus, a little bit of booze in me, and I was trying to, calm down.
Well, the main fight was the Conor McDavid.
McGregor fight.
McGregor, that's it.
He knocked this guy out in 13 seconds.
He didn't miss much.
Nothing. Even the knockout wasn't even that good. It was a nice hit. He went down. That was it. No splatter, no blood, no nothing. No, that was it. Done. 13 seconds and out. So that wasn't too bad. But the reason it's, I enjoyed it, but it was almost like the boxing. What do we do? Boxing. We waited 4 hours for that. Maybe.
Oh
more.
Yeah, easily before all the pre-hype.
And I know the deal. I know what they're trying to do. They want to get all that West Coast money in there, so they're not going to put that thing on at 8 o'clock.
No,
9 o'clock. It's not worth it because 6 o'clock on the West, no one's going to watch it.
And the results will be leaked out before you get to it anyway. Yeah. So you can't sell any late night promotions on it. So hey, they did what they had to do. It sounds like they learned a couple lessons along the way there. They're getting pretty big now.
Big. Oh, they've been big. I mean,
this is like, well, think about it now. We talk more about UFC than we ever talked about boxing.
Yeah, well, that's true.
25 years ago was the last time you heard people talking about boxing the way that people talk about UFC. Look, what Mikey mentioned on the show last week, Klitschko lost, right?
Yeah, I watched that fight.
Yeah. Or was it you that brought it up?
Yeah, I watched that fight. Yeah, that was.
I didn't see it even on any of the main sports websites.
It was in some foreign country.
Yahoo or
it wasn't even a country on the map. It was put away someplace. I watched that fight and I watched all 12 rounds of it, and it was 12 bad rounds of boxing.
Exactly.
And it didn't remind me of a heavyweight fight, but that's where the heavyweight is right now. It's not existing. Boxing is not existing at all. I mean, it's not that it's fixed. It's just there's no one, especially in the heavyweight or the middleweight, no one knocks anybody out anymore.
Nope.
They dance around the ring.
Hug.
They spend so much time on HBO building it up and stuff like that. It's all about what goes around. It's much like everything in sports now. It's nothing more than entertainment. And whatever value you can get out of what you can do as far as entertainment is concerned, that's what they do.
And that's what surprised me, how well Creed did in the movie theaters when it came first.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, I didn't either. I have no real interest. I'll wait until it comes to video or
because they'll take boxing any way we can get it, even if it's in a movie.
Exactly. And we're taking secondhand Stallone, but I mean, we're not even seeing it. There's nobody, but you gotta go see the movie.
Yeah, that's right. Is that a Stallone movie, or is he just in the movie?
It's Stallone. He owns Rocky, so it's got to be.
It's not Rocky. I don't see Rocky anywhere on there. It's like there's no.
I know, but he owns the character perpetuity or something.
Does he? I don't know. Because Stallone. He's still Stallone in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah. I know
well, he's always Stallone. He's still Rocky in it.
Yeah.
So Rocky trains him or something like that, and that's.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it. I enjoy watching the UFC. I just wish they would, fight more. I mean, get the fights going. Used to be in the beginning. I remember when I sponsored a fighter for a couple of years, an amateur, then slightly pro. And we used to go down in Atlantic City. We used to 7, 8, 10 fights. Boom, one right after the other. Bang, bang, bang. And there was some nice money being collected for those too. Those seats were $45, $50 a seat to go down and watch amateurs. And I know people are paying $500 and better to watch these guys fight. But they're all characters. But it seems like the type of fighters changing. The technique fighters are starting to come back a little bit. A lot of technique going on. A lot of stand-up fighting, which is like these two fights I watched, the McGregor one and the Weidman fight. Both were stand-up fights. Well, I guess the McGregor one had to be stand-up. It was 13 seconds. Not even time to get down to the ground. But the stand-up fights I like them better because number one, you get the kicking. Okay, you get the martial arts stuff of it, and you go down to the grappling. It's
it's just it can be boring.
It's holds and stuff like that, and I don't like the guys. To me, the technique of holding the guy down, putting him in the guard, that kind of thing. But when you start fighting the guy, you're on top of him, you're elbowing him in the head and punching him in the head like a street fight type of a thing. Your technique is gone. You know what I mean?
I can understand that.
I like guys doing roundhouse kicks and roundhouse punches and front kick and stuff like that. Like in the Chris Weidman fight. Rockhold was hitting unbelievable kicks in his inner thigh. You could see that the whole thigh was like red from getting these kicks. You know they were hurting him for sure. And it shows their martial arts technique. But, that was my Saturday night. It's the best I could do. And I thank the guys at BZI for buying that thing. $61 and it whittled down to 40. As the fights went on, it got less and less and less. You know what I mean? They were still hitting you for the last fight. You imagine you pay for the last fight? You logged on for 13 seconds.
That would infuriate me.
Yeah, well, that's the fight game too. You remember in MMA, at any time, any fighter can beat any fighter with one punch.
Oh,
you catch a guy right. You catch a guy with a kick, whatever. Don't matter how good you are. The tougher you are, the better. Obviously, I mean, let's face it. These UFC fighters are not. They're not just gym rats. These are not guys who just are trained to do. These are guys who have been on the street. They know how to fight. They're tough. They're toughened up when they were born. It's not just like you learn how to do this and you go in the ring, because in order to survive in that ring, you have to be mentally tough. Forget about the pain. They don't feel pain. There can't be any pain.
But let me ask you something. There are certain guys that are born with certain skills. Not having a glass jaw cannot be one of them, is it? Or you can train all you want. You can be a great shape. If you have a glass jaw, that's it. I'm going to go out of the sport and take Eric Lindros, for example. Tough. The one time.
Yeah.
And then it was concussion city after. It was, right. You couldn't do nothing. He was arguably a very good fighter in a fight, but that one shot ruined his career.
Yeah.
You can't teach that. You can't train for that. You have to and then you have other guys that are like, that go through the whole career getting smacked on the head and don't have a concussion.
Listen, I got out of this stuff because I had a glass jaw.
Oh, okay.
I used to get slapped.
That's good to know.
Get hit, this little skinny little man used to take. I couldn't do it, man.
Is that what happened to the choppers? Is that what
I learned? Exactly. Teeth were out of whack and everything. What I tried to do is get away. My whole martial art career was get the hell away till ever I can. Bob, weave, get out. Get in a hole. Do what I had to do to get to the other side of the ring as fast as I could. Remember, I was the 45-year-old guy facing all these 18, 19, 20. Everybody's younger than me. I was the oldest guy in the class all the time. That's why Steve
Austin always tries to get me to stop by. Take a couple lessons. Yeah. It'll be good for your back. Yeah. And I'm like, wait a minute. Is it good for your back or my back?
No, that's different. That's personal training. That's controlled. And most of the stuff is controlled when you're in these martial arts class, especially in the United States, where they give away black belts like it's candy. You go with enough money, you get yourself a black belt. Regardless.
I have one Sears and Roebuck.
Some of the guys, some of the dojos, some of the teachers, they really put you through it. I know I got put through it. When it came to the black belts, the brown and the blacks, the first 7 belts, nothing. It was all about showing up and just knowing what you're doing. But the last ones, that's when the endurance came in. That's when it became killer. Because no one wants to give you that type of thing without knowing you can handle it. That's for sure. But these guys in this UFC, that's a whole different caliber of human being. I mean, come on. That one, we would have been in the hospital for 7 weeks with the cuts that guy had. And concussion, I don't know what are they doing about concussions in that? There's no way that Weidman didn't have a concussion. No. When you're split open 8 different spots in your forehead and the side of your head.
That's what I mean.
And the blood's pouring at you, and you're still taking hits on the same spot. And then when he goes back in the ring for round 3, the cut man took care of him. And of course, the other guy just went right at the cuts again, and they splatter him all over the place.
Well, the thinking there, I guess, is to get the blood in your eyes and make you blind.
So UFC runs under different rules. MMA fighting is under different rules with concussions. It's not much like boxing too. I don't stop it. Don't stop boxing when you get hit and knocked out. They give you a standing 8 count, and you go back and you continue on.
Is it 8 or 10?
it's a standing 8 count. 10 you're out. 8 standing 8 counts. You get count 8, and then they make sure you're okay. So, you know, and then, well, you look at Muhammad Ali and a couple other guys. I mean, I listened to George Foreman talk the other day, and he's starting to show signs of chaos. You know, just listen to him. Larry Holmes saying, well, all the boxers. I mean, eventually you have to get, how often, if concussions are this bad for NFL players, baseball players, anybody in sports, can you imagine boxers from the 70s and 80s who got pounded and kept on fighting?
And that's another reason.
Because they can get off, they were able to stand up, so they were good to go. Yep. That's how you knew you were good, if you were stood up. Now it's, you know, you can't. The fact that you got hit in any sport right now means you're off. You're off the floor. You're off the field.
Well, it happened
until they check you.
Happened 3 games over an NFL weekend. 3 games.
Yep.
So pull them right out. There's no argument
NFL
anymore.
dropping like flies. Cincinnati Bengals quarterbacks out. That's the whole thing. That's what's funny about the NFL. You watch these teams ride, and you know what? The healthy teams win this thing.
Yep.
Carolina's healthy. Okay, they're all the way around inside. In fact, the Eagles are pretty healthy now. You look at the Eagles right now, outside of Hicks being done for half the season, everybody's healthy. This is a healthy football team right now. They're all back. So,
and here's a coincidence.
And I'm not just
won some games.
Right. Yeah, I'm not just riding the Eagles. And we wouldn't get into them right now, too. I'm not just riding them because they won a couple games, but I still think this team needs to do something better than what they're doing if they're going to win. I mean, you beat a Rex Ryan Buffalo team, and you know how I think about Rex Ryan. He's a buffoon with a book in his hand. Okay, he loses football games for his team. His team's undisciplined. There's no way you have that many holding calls. You know, down in right behind in your own zone, your own goal line, you have that many holding calls in a row. I mean, they must have had 5 or 6. In I think in the third quarter. I'm not even sure. But
it was in the fourth quarter when they were backed up.
They're backed up. Right. That's what I mean.
And I kept looking at it going, if it's under 10, I forgot. Under 10, it's halfway distance, right?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't.
So they kept going halfway distance, and you only go back a yard.
Yeah, eventually it was still first and 10, and it's still the penalty because they can go back any further. Point being is that a Rex Ryan football team is a bad football team any way you look at it. So, you know, the Eagles beating Buffalo, it's good. I think Buffalo just didn't play well at all. Eagles made some good plays. Quarterbacking is not making mistakes, and that's what more can you ask for when it comes to Bradford.
The defense, I thought, was outstanding.
It was, but they're still not protecting the short pass, the 3rd and 10s, the 3rd and 7s, those plays, those third down plays. They still everything's underneath them until they figure that out. When they come across now, Arizona is going to be a tough football game. This is it. They can beat Arizona, and I have some feeling for them. If they don't beat Arizona this week or they get killed by Arizona, they're right back where they were because this is a football team. Arizona is one of the NFC's best. And between them and Seattle and Carolina, they're the 3 best teams in that in the league right now, I think, for the most part. And Seattle being the way they're playing now, and they're taking no prisoners. They're running up scores, and they're scoring any way they can now. They found a new way to play football over there in Seattle. So they're a team to be reckoned with. And if they can get home, well, they're not going to get home field probably. Carolina will get it, but that'll be the early. I can see them in Carolina be going for the Super Bowl this year, based on what I'm seeing right now. If everybody's healthy.
I don't think Seattle beats Arizona.
I don't know. Well, we'll see. It depends where that game's at. For the most part, the Eagles game is entertaining for most of it. What I don't like is what led up to this game, and the Chip and the boys are back on track. Obviously, the NFL soap opera continued all last week with Kelly and Shady McCoy going at it. Not with themselves, but with the media. Okay? The media's throwing whatever they can up against the wall these days. Doesn't matter. Nobody's accountable. You know, my sources. Well, if you never have to tell your sources, then you can throw whatever you want against the wall because it doesn't really matter. Whether Chip Kelly made a phone call to McCoy or not, doesn't matter. As long as somebody said they did and McCoy didn't say he did or did, I'm not even sure. I can't even tell you. Never heard nothing from him, really. But the fact that they just throw it up against, and then when they get called out of the press conference, it's like, oh, Chip's going at it with one of the reporters. You know, he used a 4-letter word and everything. I forget who the reporter was, but he called him on the carpet. He said, well, how do you prove it? I didn't call anybody, but you said I did. And he's right. What happens, everybody throws it against the wall, and all they want is Twitter hits, Facebook hits, Instagram, whatever they can do to get the hits. Likes, yeah, that kind of stuff. And like I said, nobody's accountable for it, but the NFL loves it because once again, and it so happens to be Chip Kelly again, it keeps every day it's reported on, not just locally, but you heard it on ESPN, on NBC, any kind of football. The NFL channel was talking about Chip and McCoy's battle back and forth. which verbally was they weren't having it all. Okay, maybe McCoy said a few things, doing what he does, and obviously McCoy is so hurt that he's not an Eagle because he won't let this end.
Yeah, obviously.
It's a year already, and he just won't let it end. Where, to me, first of all, you're on a team that's playing better than the team you were with at the time.
Yes.
Okay, and all you got to do is focus on that. And the fact that McCoy came in here and didn't focus on the game, but focused on his relationship with the team and the owner and all that other bullshit, to me, that's exactly why he's not here, because it wasn't about him. McCoy made this game all about him and not about his team. And that's what it looked like out there on the field. When you have a team out there that's getting called for offsides and penalties left and right, they're not focused. The coach isn't focused, and Rex loves this shit. Rex Law, this is put him out there. He's the only captain I want out there. Put him out to the center. Let him kiss the logo, which I don't understand what that was all about. I don't understand why he kissed the Eagle logo. I don't get it. You're a Buffalo Bill now. You're not an Eagle. Why would you kiss the logo? What does that mean?
If you're so upset about the fans like turning their back on, I think that's what it is. But if you're that upset, you don't talk like an idiot in the press like this. Yeah. You don't poke fun at the team and the organization. Yeah. You don't poke fun at the team and the organization whose fans you're trying to reach. Right. If that's the way you're doing it, then you're doing it all wrong.
If I'm a Buffalo fan, I'm pissed off at McCoy.
Oh, I am too.
Totally pissed off at McCoy, not because he ran out or anything like that, but because you just had this thing on ESPN about the 4 Super Bowls that they lost. A whole big story about that, and the way the Bills in the 90s took them Super Bowls still as professionals. Okay, they didn't lower their heads, and they also talk about it now. And it's a group that those 4 years they made it to the Super Bowl 4 years in a row, which is unbelievable in the first place. They lose them all. Well, so what? It happens. It happened back then, but they were so classy about it. Jim Kelly and that whole crew. And then to have him come out like this and deface the Buffalo Bills kind of like, me stuff. And this is exactly why he's not an Eagle, because Chip Kelly can see this. This is a me player. It was all about him. Mm-hmm. And he ran off the field like, okay, I lost, his team lost. I'm off the field. I'm out of here.
I'm not shaking nobody's hand. Yeah. I'm going to throw my helmet against the wall. Did you see that? Yeah. F this. Boom.
And who the frick are you? You have never won anything. You haven't won nothing.
It's like the next thing I expect to come out of his mouth. I want my juice box now, because that's what he was acting like. He was acting like $8 million,
man. He makes $8 million for the season. What? Come on. They forget about what they get paid to do this shit.
Yep.
Disgusting, man. Makes me sick to look at it. But anyway, like I was saying before, the NFL is all about the soap opera. It's the WWE equal. Get a story going, run with the story, keep it in the news. And even this week, I already saw something starting to brew for this week. When Tom Brady got done kicking Houston's ass last night, the cameras were all over J.J. Watts and Brady to see what they would come together for some reason. I guess Watts had a couple hits on Brady or whatever. Then they try to put it out there like, oh, Brady snubbed Watts for some reason. I don't think that was true. I think Brady just didn't see him or whatever. There was a crowd of people around. They all look for players left and right. Who knows? But the camera angle they caught made it, relevant for them to throw that against the wall. So now that'll start that up and start the feud between the two of them. Not that there wasn't a feud between Houston and the Patriots. Every team in the Patriots right now, for the most part. So, that'll be the next story. Or there will be some other story, some other soap opera in the NFL to keep it going. So there's something to talk about this league every day, other than days and when they're games. When there's not a game on Tuesday or Wednesday, the NFL needs something out there. Friday needs something. Saturday they got a game this week. They got to throw Dallas Cowboys up there. Talk about that game too, because that line is really strange. What was put out there. Who's Dallas playing this week? I think it's Arizona. No, the Jets. The Jets. We'll get at that in the pick session. That's definitely a game in the pick session. Rough week in the pick session, I'll tell you, man.
No, you did all right. You did all right on hockey.
Look, the bottom line is, B, at the end of the day, did I make money for the gang or did I make money for the gang?
No, you did not.
We're going to take a break. When I come back, we'll get into the picks and then and a few other things, and hopefully maybe Michael calls from the WWE. What is that, Raw tonight down there?
Yeah, Raw. Yeah, Monday nights is Raw. Monday Night Raw.
Here's the difference. Tomorrow, the Wall and his significant will be sitting on the front row of a hockey game. Tonight, his gang got him seats at the top of the stadium. Nosebleeds. The difference. When Cashy gets you something or when the outside gets you something. Big difference, But anyway, he'll be down there tomorrow. Tell him, why don't you sleep over? Have yourself a good time. All right, Sports Goombahs, Cashy King, Chef to the left. We'll be right back.
Take control of your life. We help you take it back. ServPro of Doylestown understands the stress and worry that comes with fire or water damage. ServPro of Doylestown specializes in the cleanup and restoration of residential and commercial property after a fire, smoke, or water damage situation. ServPro of Doylestown also mitigates mold and mildew. Their staff and crews are highly trained in property damage restoration. If disaster strikes you and you need to schedule service for your home or business, call them 215-348-7755 for ServPro Industries. It's a nationwide brand you know and trust.
Public adjusters. Get the edge on your insurance company. 215-752-1237. That's 215-752-1237. Or check them out at castlepa.com. Don't settle for less. Get the maximum for your claim. Castle Public Adjusters. 215-752-1237.
Hey, yo, Cashy, what are you doing?
I got plumbing problems here. I can't get the water to go down the drain. What am I going to do?
Call Guaranteed Plumbing, 215-342-7200 for all your plumbing needs. Serving the Philadelphia area and the greater Delaware Valley.
What was that phone number again?
215-342-7200.
Oh, yeah, oh.
BZI Group, Inc. for your individual and small group health insurance needs. BZI offers free instant online insurance quotes and applications from major health insurance carriers. The BZI Group is dedicated to a no-nonsense approach to health insurance. They focus on giving you the insurance you need in a timely and cooperative manner. Whether you're looking for individual and family, group, seniors, life, or long-term coverage, BZI can help. For additional information or to speak with an insurance expert, call 1-800-431-4834 or email them at www.bzigroup.com.
Cashy the King here back. My chef to the left, Brendan B. Sports Goombahs. Yeah, we'll just make an announcement, let everybody know that, of course, on February 1st, we'll be going live from Steam Pub, Southampton, PA. What's the address there, B?
606 2nd Street Pike.
606 2nd Street Pike. Show will go on at 8 o'clock that night. Get there early, get some good food, drinks.
It's going to fill up fast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're going to pack the joint. And probably run about an hour, hour and a half. Who knows? Things are going good. We have a little microphone there now. You can come up and ask the crew questions. Myself, Mikey. We might have a couple guests. Chef. See if we can get some good sports beefing, ranting. Hopefully that'll be the Monday before the Super Bowl. Hopefully the right teams are there. What's the chance of the hometown boys being there? Slim to none. Anyway, either way, it'll be good pregame show for the Super Bowl that Monday. That's Monday, February 1st, 8 o'clock, Steam Pub, Southampton. Bring the family, bring the kids, no dogs allowed. All ages, right? You can bring some kids there, right?
Yeah, all ages.
Want to drink, you better have ID. Monday night before the Super Bowl. All right. Let's get right into the chaos, which is, what do we call the chaos? My picks last week. Well, 6-6. No, actually, 4-4 last week. This is the pick session. Of course, you know the pick session is brought to you by our boys over at Auto Magic Car Care. Check them out, 215-322-2561. Check them out at automagiccarcare.com. Last week I was 4-4. Good week with the NHL. Okay, that's where I make my money. Then I dipped into the NFL, and that's where things went wild. I did post, however, on Sunday before I put out my plays that, we were having a good week. We were 4-1. And I told you to go easy on Twitter. I was warning you. I put out plays sometimes because, in spite of myself, people ask for them. I won't go away from my side totals because that's how I earn. Even though I'm told it's not a good way to do it, screw them. That's how we do it. Find a way to bet them. So I go out there and I put a couple NFL games out there. I put Detroit Detroit +1 over St. Louis, loser. New Orleans, Tampa Bay, they couldn't get the 51 points. That was a shitty game too, man. and I lost my fantasy league because of that too. That's another thing too. I go 10-3. I got to play a 7-6 team. I lose one game. I'm out. I got nothing for going 10-3. I got nothing. What kind of league is that? They don't give you nothing for 10-3. It's bogus. I'm out next year. You gotta get the best team that when the season something. What's the sense of
you get a bag of Russian candy?
I got nothing. I'm out. I'm out because I got beat. Unless the Giant kicker Brown, right? What the freaking name is the kicker for the Giants has got to get me 51 points tonight. Now, unless he's tossing touchdown passes and running them in, I'm getting 50 points with a field goal kicker. So I'm out. I'm done. So New Orleans agreed. Tampa Bay didn't go over to 51. That was lose. Then I went over to Kansas City, and they couldn't get any points. They won the game. They couldn't score any points. Over 28 side total. That was a loser. It was 3 NFL losers, making for a 0-4. Anyway, a 1-4 week in the NFL, 3-0 for NHL, giving me a 4-4. And with the VIG, that's a losing week. Any way you look at it, stay with my NHL and don't force me into the NFL. Although I got a couple plays this week, and that's only because Vegas.
Here we go.
Vegas luring me to a certain point. All right, NHL tomorrow, Columbus at Dallas. I'm on the Dallas Dow Jones, okay? You saw what I did last week with Dallas. Stick with the Dallas Stars, okay? It's a good hockey team, okay? They score what they need to score. I'm not crazy on the side toes with them, but I'm laying the money. And I'm going to lay the 250 for them to beat Columbus tomorrow night. Also, another hot team, Washington. That's on Wednesday night. Washington's hosting Ottawa. Lay the 200. That's what I think it is. I don't have a line on it right now, but it's going to be in that ballpark. And the over 5 for the total in that game. I love this game. I like Washington. I hate Ovechkin. You know how Ovi and me don't see eye to eye.
Nope.
But this team they're now at the top of the NHL right now and scoring and winning and they're playing well. But Washington does that. What I want to see about the Capitals, as I do every year, is what they do after the All-Star break. Always makes and breaks that team every year. And I know it because we ride them in the first part because they're a scoring hockey team. I like them over Ottawa. That's my 2 hockey games. Then I'm going to stick in the NFL. Get a Saturday night game that I don't understand. Maybe I do understand. I don't know. The Jets are -3 in Dallas. Maybe that's right. I don't know what Dallas. The Jets are in the hunt right now, and Dallas is out of the hunt. I don't know what Dallas is. They're just done. I mean, to fire everybody on that team, and learn your lesson about your quarterbacks. You got to have one to win in the NFL of some sorts, and not just a stat guy. The Jets are -3. I like the Jets -3 here. I think they this could be a tight game going into the second half, but at the end of the day, Dallas will run out of juice because they got nothing to play for. The pride is gone from that team. The pride went out the door when the owner, maintains his general manager job. All right, I don't know. Dallas is they need to lose football games to get themselves a better draft next year. Knowing that, seeing this line 3, I thought it'd be a 4, 4.5, maybe a 5. And I know you don't usually see Dallas as a dog,
especially at home.
But this team's shot. They're shot. They're 2 games out of first place and 2 games out of the best pick in the draft, which is the cliche that's going around right now.
Yeah.
So they're done. I like that thing. I think that's a steal for the Jets on there. Get it now. Don't let the hook get on there because the hook might change things. So get the 3 and it's over 42.5, which is kind of, it's kind of. I guess it's kind of high. I think it's telling me that the Jets win this game like 27-7, something like that. That's what I'm looking for here. Dallas can't score.
Yeah,
they can't score, so that's what I'm looking at. I'm going to never give that an underplay because you just don't know with interceptions, touchdowns, run backs, and the way the NFL is now with the penalties. Now I never take an under in the game. Can't do it. With that being said, I think that game's going to go under, but I'm not putting a wager any money.
I wouldn't bet on it. No.
The other game is surprising to me because Cleveland's going to Seattle. Okay, Manziel had a game again. Who did they play? Who did they beat the hell out of? They beat Cleveland. Just beat up one. Don't even know. Didn't even pay attention to it. Look it up. Go to NFL.com. I know who they beat. It slipped me. They beat on somebody. They speed up on somebody ratchet. Who was it? It was I'm trying to think who's the worst team in football. They beat up on Tennessee, right? I'm looking. Cleveland.
San Francisco.
Oh, San Francisco, even worse. Okay, beat up on San Francisco. Manziel, he threw for 270. He had a touchdown pass. He didn't make a whole lot of mistakes except for signing the $100 bills before the game started, which still told me the focus is not there.
He ain't ready.
Right there. And now his coach is talking about, we think we got him on the right track. Yeah, you got on the right track to showcase this clown, to get him the hell out of your city and start all over again. That's for sure. I mean, it doesn't matter what he does. He's always going to do something about him. And once again, with Manziel, it's all about me. He's one of those guys. It's me. I'm the show. Whether I win or not, doesn't matter. It's about me. Well, me's going into Seattle next week. It's a -14. That's easy. That's easy picking. Seattle's going to eat them up. Cleveland in Seattle? Shitty Cleveland in Seattle? Anybody in Seattle is brutal, especially right now when they're scoring at will.
I'm saying the over, right?
No, I don't think Manziel. I don't think he makes it through the game.
Oh,
so I'm going to say the over there, but I will say that I will lay the 14 points on there. I'm not, I can't find. I ain't finding no money line on this. No. I'm not going to lay 500, right? Yeah. So there's not going to be a money line on this game. So I'm going to lay the 14. So let me recap. I got Seattle beating Cleveland by a whole lot. I got the Jets coming into Dallas and laying 3, which they could lay 5, and I would still be on the Jets. Hockey, I got Washington. I'm going to lay 200 to win 100 on Washington to beat Ottawa, and I'm going to play around that over 5 as a game total because Washington does give up goals. That I do know. So I like that. That's an over 5, which wouldn't surprise me that comes to 5.5. And I don't like the side total. I know it'll be a 3.5. So that 5.5 is looking good for me right here. And the other game is Columbus coming into Dallas. I'll lay the 250 on this one. That's how much I like Dallas. Plus, to the Dow Jones, I'm on there every night, all the time, Dallas. And if you are on Dallas in the last 2 weeks, you're collecting no matter what. If anything I do, just stay on Dallas. And that's not the Cowboys. That's the Stars. Same logo, different sport. All right, so that's my place, Big.
It's a star. It's a star.
Yep.
You know what? I have. Let me throw one. I have an actual pay that I actually researched, just because I wasn't sure, Mikey not being here, that if you would go, B, you got something. So, 7 p.m. Tuesday night, Flyers, the Carolina Hurricanes at the Flyers.
Always a tough game.
Always a tough game. Always a good game. Always a good scoring game.
Yep.
Both teams are giving up a lot of goals. And the Flyers, as of late, except for that hiccup with your Dow Jones Stars, have been scoring.
That's a loss.
Well, no, I mean goal scoring wise.
I got you.
So they've actually been managing to score some goals. So I expect that. Take the over 5 there. I think you might even get to that before the third period.
He's putting over 5 on Carolina. They usually the games are usually at 5, 4-1. They end up like that. One team
lately
takes
it's been 4-2, 3-4.
One team takes over when those two play. Just it's been going on for a while. So those are our plays. Take them, leave them, do what you want them. They're brought to you by Auto Magic Car Care. Check them out at automagiccarcare.com. 215-322-2561. Mikey Primo, Maylin, take care of your auto bill and shine it up like nobody else and make it look easy. So that's it. That's our plays. Boy, I almost made that comeback. NFL, man.
You weren't off by it much.
It doesn't matter, man. NFL football is brutal. It's not a way to earn. Definitely not a way to earn money.
You've always said that, but yet every week you're still there doing it.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, we'll talk about this referee. I know you probably got him in your what you call report or your Brendan Chop Suey, whatever it is there. The NFL, Bill Kennedy comes out there. He mentioned, first of all, Rondo said some ethnic slurs, not ethnic slurs, like gay slurs at him or something in the game, whatever that was going. So Bill Kennedy, he's a referee for the NBA, came out and he says he's gay. Who cares? It's 2015, almost 16. Who cares?
Okay. You don't come out. No. In fact, that was part of my the prime cuts. Yeah. I was outing you as being a straight man.
Well, wait a minute. Still we're talking about who's gay, who's not.
Who cares?
It doesn't really matter. He's a good ref. He does a very good ref. He does the job, and sexual preference has nothing to do with you fouling somebody, or you traveling or palming the ball or whatever. Well, whatever.
Wait a minute.
You know what I meant, baby.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the deal there with that. I don't know why that has to be even mentioned or put up there for any reason, other than to give the NBA some more. The NBA right now, I mean, you look what's going on in Philadelphia. We found out last week that the NBA is kind of like stepping into what the 76ers are doing. And I don't care as long as they can if they can bring us a winner in this town, then that's fine. I mean, but whoever they want to have as the coach here or running stuff or fire hard at this point, when you're that bad or been that bad, do what you want. I don't care if the commissioner steps in. I mean, look, Philadelphia is one of the top markets in the country for sports. And that kind of thing has to be, addressed. You just can't let a team fall away like that. So they do what they want with that.
Yeah.
What do I care? As long as I can see, winning basketball or something here that resembles any kind of basketball, that's fine with us. What do I care? Me,
basketball is basketball. It doesn't. I haven't paid attention in years, and also I haven't been given a reason to pay attention in years.
Yeah.
So when we were talking about it with the new guy taking over, and we had actually discussed it in a previous segment, what are you more excited to see? And I said, Flyers hockey, because I think they're on a better track than the Sixers. And we had this argument at some point in this third year of your 5-year plan. We should see signs. We should see it.
Well, in the NBA,
it's not there.
Whatever.
I'm 3 months into a 3-year plan for the Flyers.
Whatever the ownership
I
doing.
I don't see anything, but I don't expect to this early.
Right, because the NBA saw that the 76ers ownership are bean counters. That's what they do. They own several. They own hockey teams. They own other interests, and as far as they're concerned, they couldn't care less as long as they're making money. Now, it seems to me that the way to make some good money is to fill the goddamn seats with people buying stuff and having your name out there, your logo and everything. But evidently, they're on a 5-year plan, which is now becoming like a 7-year plan. The way I see it, it's been. I'm trying to think when they were last in the playoffs. Got to be 7 years, right? 6 or 7 years. Yeah, they made that little run against Chicago, and that was it. And then they got banged out. Right, that was a mistake run because back then they should have been getting draft picks. So what are you gonna do tomorrow? Just while we're on the subject a little bit, if you want to give us a call, you can do that. You can give the Sports Goombahs hotline a call if you want to rant and beef anything. 267-563-2893. 267-563-2893. Random beef and sports for the next 30 minutes. B, tomorrow, get a little off of sports here because, to me, this GOP debate is like a sport. I was watching TV today. I'm watching a little CNN. I don't know if it's on CNN or Fox. I don't know who's running it tomorrow. But they start presenting it like a baseball, football game. Bang! Donald Trump. He got to put his face up there, like 6'6", 220-pound Donald Trump. And then 5 foot nothing, 200 nothing, Marco Rubio. Bang! And the song and the music coming on. They get a side shot of him, and you get that cruise, man. It looks like some kind of creepy dude. What's he, the catcher? To me, it looks like a radio station DJ softball lineup. When you look at the guys as they come up, they all have a fundamentally cartoonish look to them. Everybody up there, and then you had the girl, you have the token girl playing shortstop. You put her out there,
You're Eddie.
You're Eddie. Yeah,
on
right.
your team.
Just look at the lineup for the what do you call it?
The
Republicans. Yeah, just look at the lineup. I can't. Yeah, I just couldn't believe the way they're advertising this thing. It's become such a joke, such a SNL skit here. To this point that it's. You don't know what's more believable, the Saturday Night Live skit or the actual debate itself. But the characters, you can't make this shit up. You can't find 9-10 different dudes and one woman to represent what they're doing and be so out of it. You know what I mean? Stick a bat in them hand. Let them play some baseball. Let them eat each other with a bat, at this point. But to make it like it's a sporting event now just insults the American public, I think. The seriousness of the seriousness of becoming the president of the United States, the most powerful man on the globe, arguably. Yeah. And this is what it's down to, some comedy show, some comedy act, these debates are coming like it's like going down to the Comedy Store and see who's going to make us laugh the most, right? Is that what we're going for? We're going not to see what they actually say. We know what they stand for by this time. It's the fight, it's the comedy, it's the chaos that we're waiting for on these debates, isn't it?
The whole play of it is ridiculous. The whole system.
Yeah, we know that.
The way they handle it, right. It's like you got to look at it like from the television's point of view, the station's point of view. To them, look, if you had 3 guys up there just yes, I'm going to cut taxes. Nobody's going to watch it. But if you put Donald Trump up there next to Rubio, next to this person, next to Carly Fiorioni or whatever the heck her name is, I know it's
I call her Carly Feudal.
Yeah. So I look at and all you do now, as soon as you put Trump in there, and he's going to just He's going to just say whatever comes to mind.
Right.
He's kind of like a lot like you,
Yeah.
as much as you hate to admit it, but he's just going to say whatever's right there. And right then and there, that's going to piss off people. And the more people are going to watch it just to see, just so they can complain about Donald Trump. So that's 20 percentage points right there.
What they do is they just need a camera focus on Trump's face. One camera. Even if they put a little picture on the side of his face, because all he does is make animated faces. Everything is talked about. You just watch his face. Everybody's face, the head up, down, the face, the lip comes out. It's almost like, you know how they have the person for the deaf in the corner doing the hand, doing sign. It's like Trump is telling you, he's giving you a barometer of what's going on, and just by the facial expression.
And it's funny when he actually agrees with something. It's like, not too bad.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not too bad.
Yeah, exactly.
It even looks at you. I don't know. It looks constipated when he says,
Yeah. In his mind, he's like, I can't believe I'm still up here. How the hell did I get up here? How come I haven't been tossed out or anything?
My ratings points going up. Crazy.
Yeah, the hell's wrong with everybody? For the most part.
You know why? I'll give you one reason why. Because he's not like the other career politicians out there. And in the Republican Party, you have like 6 or 7 of them. And in the Democrats, you have 3 of them. All of them in the Democratic Party. He's the only one up there that just doesn't. All right, what? I'm not going to win. So what? I'm still going to be a billionaire. And I paid for all this. I didn't fundraise anything. And he's going to rub that in your faces afterwards, even if he doesn't win. You don't care.
Yeah, right.
That's the point. If I don't win, I don't win.
And the other thing is there's no one else like him up there. There's nobody. Yeah. He's by himself. He's the only one like that. It's not like anybody else came out. It's not like Mark Cuban decided he was going to run for president. As somebody different. Not a bad idea. It's a smart dude, man. Will Smith's thinking about doing it now. If things don't go right, Will Smith's going to step in there and he's going to be a politician. Well,
it's funny,
Everybody wants to be king of the world, B. When I'm the king,
I don't know why.
I didn't have to run.
I don't know why. You look at all of them before they started office and then afterwards.
Obama looks 20 years older.
Oh my God! I just realized it today when he was on. I'm like, holy crap! Is that because he's got teenage daughters, or is that because he's running the world?
He's running the world.
All that gray hair.
He's running something. I don't know what's running the world.
It's crazy, man.
Stuff to think to crazy stuff. This week's been a big week with the guns. And a lot of Twitter videos and Facebook videos of women buying guns. Everybody's buying guns, right? Everybody's talking about what they'll do when the shit hits the fan with their guns. And I'm thinking to myself, all these people talking about gun buying, and I own a gun. I don't have a gun. I license to carry all that stuff, and and I don't go around looking to shoot somebody. That's for sure. But the situation comes. These people actually think they're going to all pull their guns out of their pocket and start firing at the bad guys. This good guy with gun thing that they have going on now. Can you imagine you getting hit by somebody with a sawed-off shotgun or a machine gun, and you're in a public place? You're going to pull your piece out of your pocketbook, and start get down and start aiming and shooting and making sure
your proper Weaver stance.
Yeah, right. And you're making sure you're going to hit your target and not 5 people behind you. No one's thinking straight with this stuff. Everybody's just off the cuff. Get guns, get. And we'll take care of it.
And yet you have one too.
Yeah.
Why? Okay, why?
My gun was purchased many years ago, licensed and everything, because a lot of the work I used to do put me into situations where it might be necessary to get myself back to my daughter. That's the only reason I carry my gun, because I was.
And you don't think that there's maybe 100 million Americans that feel exactly the same way you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with that.
And
I have a problem with a lot of these people purchasing guns for their own safety and not knowing how to use it. It's like buying a car without a driver's license. You don't know how to use it.
Exactly. You should need to take classes.
The thing is, if you have certain things in life you can use, and if you misuse them, you don't hurt other people.
Mm-hmm. Car isn't one of them.
Right. Exactly. And with a gun, if you misuse it, you can hurt yourself and other people. Yes. So you need to know how to use something like that. And that's a view I never see talked about. Okay, the gun always gets talked about the protection, but it's also something that can hurt innocent people if it's not used right. Mm-hmm. And that's the key thing here. That's why I'm a believer that you should be able to bear arms all you want. But I also feel that you should have some kind of, when you have an
educational class,
when you have something that can hurt another person because you misused it, not to using it to violently hurt somebody on purpose, but you accidentally misused it, like driving your car into another person's car because you didn't have a driver's license. You were never taught how to ride, how to drive a car. I think that the gun, the way it can hurt people, the accidents that happen should be something. And I know I hate when I talk serious like this, but I just want to get this point across because I don't hear it out there. No one ever talks about the safety of the gun. They all talk about having it and protecting yourself.
And point well taken. And you do. And here's another crazy thing. I only hear about background checks, this other stuff, all that. Which is fine, which is great. Do it. But here's another. California lads, they had an assault rifle ban.
Right.
Those two people had assault rifles. How did that happen? Haven't found out yet. I don't know how it happened. I don't know how they got them. So, in my opinion, when you're doing your stuff, you say you want to ban this, ban that. Right. You're taking guns away from people that have them legally.
Yeah, I understand that.
And I haven't yet heard anything about taking guns away, how we're going to get them out of the person that's purchasing them illegally.
Right. There's a lot of things. And you look and you say about me, and I know how to load the gun, unload the gun, put it down, handle it right. So some people, they especially now, everybody is kind of scared of what's going on in this world. They want to get a gun to protect themselves.
Because they don't know.
Did anybody fire? If you haven't fired a gun, you fired a 45 or 9mm, and you think that you can it's TV where the guys are running in and popping away, pop,
sideways.
Sideways. The jump on that gun will take your arm off if you don't hold it right.
Yep.
You don't hold the bottom of that gun, you can snap your finger off just on the
trigger.
The trigger. Yeah. So I mean, I look at this and I say to myself, are you kidding me? I mean, are we that stupid? Think about what you're talking about here. It's arm everybody, but let's not have anybody have any lessons of what to use. It's like driving a car, which is less dangerous than a gun, maybe. I don't know if you mess up with it. I mean, I guess not. Well, it's the same. It depends on what you're doing. If you're driving,
it all depends on the idiot behind both.
Yeah, exactly right. And being that the mistake can hurt others. You know what I mean? It's like, and I'm trying to get an analogy for something else we do in life. I mean, you don't have to have a license to cook, okay?
You should have a license to have children.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of those boneheads out there.
Because you can hurt your kid if you don't do it right.
God, look at
what happens. Your kid will end up getting a gun.
Exactly. And then driving around shooting everybody up without a license. There you go.
Unreal. Yeah, well, I just wanted to get that out there because that's what I do.
Well, and you're very good at it.
Yeah. And now we're going to go to the chef's choice cuts. The recipes that get you where you need to be when it comes to ranting and beefing. Top choice bullshit. And now, here's my chef to the left.
All right, Cashy. It's Chef's Prime Cuts this week. We have a story coming out of Indiana. Basketball high school coach in Indiana came under fire for having a prayer circle with his players. The complaint came from a group called American Humanist Association. Good without a God. The team can still pray, mind you, just not without the coach. The coach can't be in it. He's not allowed. All calls to the Attorney General, Loretta Lynch, were not answered. Apparently, you can speak of ill of religions only if it's Judaism and Christianity, but not Muslim. You're not allowed.
No.
Okay. So he can go. He can pray in the circle, but not anybody else. So. Right. Manfred and Rose met at MLB offices in September, at which point Rose made his case for reinstatement. This is hardly the first time Rose has applied for reinstatement. His first attempt was back in 1992 when Fay Vincent was still commissioner. Rose is now 74 and has been banned from baseball since 1989 when a bombshell Sports Illustrated report detailed allegations he bet on baseball. He insisted he only bet on games as a manager, but since then, evidence has surfaced to report that he has done so as a player as well. When asked, when Rose was heard to have said probably still betting on baseball. When he said probably still betting on baseball did not help his case, even though I had odds against it myself as well. So.
With the Rose stuff, it's quite simple. Put the guy in the Hall of Fame already. I mean, I know it's because the old school guys won't do it. I mean, but what's going on in sports these days with the steroid clowns of the 90s and that kind of stuff? Here's what I look at it. What's weigh the good and the bad of it? If you put him into the Hall of Fame for what he's done in baseball at this point, what's going to happen?
Nothing.
Nothing's going to happen. He's going to go in the Hall of Fame. It'll have a nice little ceremony, whatever. He'll go in there and did he bet on baseball? Did he bet on games? Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. Okay. I think he's paid the price at this point because he's getting old. He's lost 20 some odd years, 25 some odd years of no baseball, not being involved with it. And at this point, his numbers still speak for themselves, regardless of what he did. He still has numbers that deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Okay? And you can't take that away from him at this point. So why do it? Put him in there. You got Ty Cobb stuff in there. You got Mark Aguirre stuff. You got Bond stuff in there. These guys, so all these guys, all their records are in there. Okay, so you know, and those guys, will they make the Hall of Fame? I don't know. Probably not till that committee's dead in the 90s.
I think him still betting on baseball now.
Yeah,
probably hurting his chance.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that's what they said.
He probably had an interview and he said, "Pete, you betting ball? Yeah, sure I am. I gotta make some money."
Yeah.
You know, I listen to Sports Goombahs. Cashy just gave me a couple plays. I'm betting hockey too, by the way. So what am I gonna do? I'm not in baseball. What, I'm gonna stop betting because I'm not in baseball? You guys are gonna put me in anyway.
Yeah.
So why should I stop betting? Well, that's a problem. You still bet. We can't put you in baseball. Why not? My numbers speak for themselves. I want the numbers. I want to be in the Hall of Fame. Just don't put me back in the Major League Baseball, but put me in the fame. I deserve to be there. I produced on the field. It had nothing to do with what I did. Yeah, my bad habit hurt me. Okay, I agree, but my numbers still are my numbers. Put them in there and be done with it already. And then we can all move on. We don't have to talk about this shit anymore. Mm-hmm. Right? It's just people. It's just vindictive idiots who have nothing better to do but beef on this stuff to keep them relevant. I think the new commissioner would have soaked this one away, and that would have been the end of it. You know what I mean? But no, that ain't gonna happen. They're gonna keep this thing. We're not gonna keep it going. He's done, man. He'll probably have to die first before he gets in the whole thing.
And then they'll put him in.
They're done. Yeah. Aha, Pete, we got you. You're in the grave.
Won,
yeah, we'll put you in there now, but you'll never know it.
Yep.
You know, like he cares.
Bill Cosby is countersuing 7 of his accusers.
Good man.
Defamation of character.
Get them girls, man. They're bad.
Counterclaim defendants of the Green lawsuit for defamation per se. Defamation. Mr. Cosby states plainly that he neither drugged nor sexually assaulted the defendants, that each defendant has maliciously and knowingly published false statements of accusations from fall 2014 to the current day in an effort to cause damage to Mr. Cosby's word and to his extract financial gains. But here's the thing. He already said he gave a couple of them Quaaludes, but hey, I gave them Quaaludes and Jello and pudding pops, and I put them in the Quaaludes, but I didn't charge them for it. So there you go.
Cosby's thing is this. The way I see it, Temple alumni, track star, right? Sports guy, legend in the city of Philadelphia, and therefore, owner of 2 shows and the Cosby Kids, Hey, Fat Albert. Used to love that show with that kid. You know what I mean? Who knew? Who knew Fat Albert was on the take? Quaaludes, huh? What are you going to do in the junkyard of Philadelphia? You're going to find a Quaalude somewhere. That's for sure. He hasn't been accused. He hasn't been convicted of anything. So if you're not convicted, but you're getting, defamation of character, that opens the door for you. Not that it's right. Look, it opens the door for you to be able to do something like this, to counter-sue, which one jams everything up. Yep. Anybody coming at you now it's jammed up because you're coming at them. Throw that in court. Figure 10 years, guy's dead by then. You know what I mean?
A couple things are disturbing about this to begin with.
Couple,
are very disturbing. One is the fact that
it's a date raper.
he said he's giving them Quaaludes on tape's deposition.
Yeah.
I gave him Quaaludes.
It was legal to give Quaaludes back then, right?
I had no idea.
Without
them knowing it?
You ever do a bud?
Nope.
You ever did a Quaalude?
Nope. I don't even know what that is. What the hell is it?
Well, you're a little late for the Quaalude. You got to be my age, and then
I don't even know what a Quaalude is.
You go see the Wolf of Wall Street. See the movie?
Not yet.
Rent that movie. See it on TV. That'll explain the Quaalude front and center, man.
I do remember Dan Aykroyd doing Jimmy Carter on Saturday Night Live. What you took was an orange barrel.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna talk him. I think I can talk him down from this.
Yeah,
like he's a jumper or something. But.
Right.
And finally, we have you brought out NBA referee Bill Kennedy revealed he's gay. Also, we're gonna reveal live tonight. Cashy the King has come out as a straight man.
That's right.
Yes, it's silly.
You just check my Match.com account.
Exactly. We almost got through a whole show without you talking about your dating account.
No, forget it.
And well, as silly as it sounds to say that, it's none of their business, it's none of your business, it's none of my business, it's none of anybody's business.
Right.
The minute you start shoving it down my face, you make it my business. Right. I don't care. I don't want to know. It doesn't matter to me. I don't go going, hey, I wonder if he's straight or if he's gay. It doesn't matter. Stand up for yourself. You don't
I think because of the Rondo slurs at the time, about that to him, I think it was based on some of
But he had he come out yet?
I figured after that, he figured, why not? What's different? Plus, it's good press for him. Good press for the referee. It's good for the NBA. Now NBA opens up to that kind of stuff. They've had already. There was a couple years ago.
The female referee.
Well, yeah, but there was another gay player who opened up a couple years ago in the NBA.
Oh, I don't know.
He had retired. Yeah, that was about 5 or 6 years. But he retired and said it wasn't like he was still playing at the time. NBA's covered. They got Magic with the AIDS. They got the gay now. They're covered. It's all good over there. NFL had Sam's. Nobody has AIDS yet or died. NFL still has a ways to go. NHL, I don't think they're not coming out for a while in the NHL. It's just not going to happen. It's ice skating. there's no gay homosexuality in ice skating, is there? Not that I know of.
Not in hockey.
Well, who knows? Who knows? A good ice skater could be a good hockey player, or vice versa.
I don't know. Well, who knows with that one girl that broke the other girl's leg? You never know. I guess she could be a good hockey player.
In baseball, everybody's gay. So baseball, what's the difference?
Whatever.
All right, Chef, go work. That was the Chef's. Where we go? Choice cuts, prime cuts. We ain't talking farting. Well, this music I picked out for you might be. I think it works out nice. It's like going into a nice restaurant. Here's what we have on the menu for you tonight. We have chicken cacciatore, lobster fried diablo, chef size. For appetizers, we have pan-seared tuna.
Divers scallops.
What?
Divers scallops.
Is that like couscous?
No. Although I did do a couscous.
I don't want to hear couscous on this show. No couscous around. That's the deal. So, anyway, good show, B. Killed a good hour to get in and watch the rest of that Giant game. We didn't put the TV on today, so we don't know what the hell's going on. Not that we really care. We do, man. The outcome of that game makes a big deal for us local Philadelphians who actually think this team still has a chance. But
ironically, we didn't talk about that.
No, that's because you know what? Because you do, and it's almost like you look. If we're talking about playoff caliber teams being this team here, then the NFL screwed.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, but what's ironic, it happens in the NFL is, and we spoke about it before we went on the show, is you got to stay healthy. That's the bottom line. Look at Cincinnati. They're gone. They're done. I didn't think they were going to make it in the first place. I don't think they were going to get out of the NFC anyway, but now they're done. They don't have a quarterback. Well, the quarterback thinks he's the new Tom Brady, but we'll see about that. Colts are done. They're not healthy. And New England's coming back. Edelman's coming back. Looks like they put some new mechanics on that guy. That's not one of the toughest dudes in the NFL. You got Gronkowski, who is the toughest dude in the NFL, outside of Watson, probably Fletcher Cox, and then you have Edelman, who's the smallest, toughest guy, and then you got Amendola on the other side, who's a little smaller but one of the tougher guys. So when you put together the New England Patriot team, they're just tough guys. And then the whole team they do what they need to do to win, and I'm not counting them out regardless of their health. And they took out 4 or 5 players this week went down for the Patriots.
Yep.
And they managed still to win football games, and that's for one reason only: their quarterback. Regardless,
and their coach too.
Right, quarterback and their coach. When you have a defense who believes in the offense, then they're willing to play both ways. It's one team, one deal. But I'm still worried about them Seattle Seahawks on the other side. Coach is standing on top of lockers now, yelling at his team. He's a nutcase, man. If they didn't have, what's his name? I always forget his name. The coach of Seattle.
Oh, Carroll.
They didn't have Pete Carroll as a coach. I'd like Seattle, but I can't stand Carroll, man. I just think he's a joke. But
you've hated him since he was college days, though.
I know. I just don't like him. That's something he rubs me the wrong way about him. Always has. And to see him win a Super Bowl made me sick, and to see him lose that one like he did last year by being a dumka, making them want to. Still, what I say today is the worst call in sports history. The worst call, the worst play run at that time in sports history. I cannot name another play that was worse than that play call in that game at that time, bar none. And I blame their quarterback, who's now stepping up to become a quarterback, for not calling that. Wilson should have said, my coach is out of it, man. What's he smoking? Look, guys, this is what we're running. I don't care what happens at the end of this. Plus, we have a couple more downs after it we can use.
We'll be champions.
We are not putting that ball in the air, man. That ball stay on the ground. Somebody's going to run this thing. We're not putting that thing in the air. And that's another thing.
Yeah, that's another thing. You don't even think about that. There were 3 other options to that.
Yeah.
That whole thing. You have a quarterback who's very, very mobile. You had 2 really good backs, one arguably the best in the league, and you still put it in the air.
Yeah, the ball should never got out of anybody's hands, regardless. So That was the deal. So to that, that's well. And if he gets the Super Bowl again this year, I get a chance to be sick again. What are you gonna do? So be it. I'm Cashy the King. I got the chef to the left, Brendan B. Mikey the Wall will be back next week. Oh, we're gonna start the show again. I love this thing the way it goes forward like that. Some classic stuff. Me and you doing that. This commercial's no good anyway with that guy. You know what I mean? He kind of lost his thing. The most incredible man in the world or whatever. He doesn't do it anymore. You know, they do it, but they blew it. They ran out of shit for him to be so. You know what I mean?
Damn good at it.
Yeah. So, all right, we'll be back. Oh, don't forget our Wednesday show. Probably the final show for the fantasy leagues. I don't know. I have to talk to Mikey about that. Everybody's in the playoffs right now except me now. I'm out. And don't forget our February 1st. Mark it down. February 1st, Steam Pub, Southampton, PA. Sports Goombahs will be broadcasting live with an audience. Live on YouTube from Steam Pub in Bensalem, in Southampton. What's the address there, Bert?
606 2nd Street Pike.
That's right, 8 o'clock. Be there or don't be there, and then we don't care. All right? Cashy the King, Sports Goombahs. We'll see you next week.